So thank you, first of all, Jamie, for like taking the time to come here on a Saturday, like your weekend, to answer questions for coaches. But I'm just gonna like explain a little bit about Jamie, and then Jamie, I'll let you kind of share your coaching journey so far. So Jamie was actually a challenger for a long time. And this is why I say you should always invite your challengers, even if they're not really showing up in the challenge group. But Jamie always checked in one-to-one with me. She wasn't really someone necessarily that would be like in the challenge group all the time. So make sure you're always inviting people that, even though they're not really showing up in the challenge group, that doesn't mean that they're not interested in coaching. So Jamie is a perfect example of that. So she signed up as a coach last month and she hit Success Club 42. And 4 of those Success Club points came from a controlled account that she also built to Emerald. So she's literally 2 people away from Diamond, and she already locked in Success Club this month. She's at Success Club 8. So she's killing it. And so we're going to kind of pass it over to Jamie and she'll share a little bit about her story, and then we'll kind of open it for questions.
Okay, hi guys. I'm so nervous, so please bear with me. I'm not good at talking on the spot, but please bear with me. Okay, so I'm 21 years old. I'm a full-time student in university. Not at the moment, obviously, but I'm in speech language pathology. I absolutely love that program. I started Beachbody 2 years ago, actually, just kind of on my own. I didn't really know what coaching was. I didn't even know you were assigned a coach kind of thing. I signed up on my own. And then I think it was a year later that Shauna reached out to me. She sent me an invite and I was like, oh, like I'm already a Beachbody member. And she's like, oh, like, do you have a coach? I was like, what's a coach? Like, I didn't really know what a boot camp was. I didn't know what a coach was. So I was like, sure, I'll just like switch over to Shauna. And I wasn't consistent like whatsoever with like absolutely anything. So like she added me to her at the time. I think it was on Facebook. I think it was a group on Facebook, and like I obviously seen everyone's posts, but I never participated in it. I kind of like just wasn't consistent with anything. So that's what it was. She reached out to me a few times to become a coach, and like I was like, no, like I have, let's just put it this way. In high school, I struggled a lot with like self-love, confidence, like all that stuff. So I was like, how do you want me to encourage girls to be positive and love themselves when I can't even do that myself? So I kind of like shut that down completely. And then one day, which was just a month ago, I was actually starting to be a little bit more consistent. I was doing my workouts every day. I had bought the bod ropes for MBF, and I was like, why not? Why not just try it? There's nothing that's gonna, like, if anything, it's just gonna be positive for me. So I joined mainly for myself, I think, just because I needed that extra accountability. So I told myself that if I was a coach, I had no choice to stay consistent with my workouts. And since then, I've just been super consistent with my workouts, with my like own journey of like self-growth and self-love. I've never been so confident in my entire life, and like that's something that I've always really struggled with. So I think coaching literally is like something that changed my entire life in that point of my life, kind of thing. I don't know what else you guys want to know, but I'm open to questions. Please ask me questions, girls.
Well, that's perfect. Thank you. I have a question for you. So do you find like, so I feel like a lot of your like Success Club numbers and like your new customers and discount coaches came from Instagram, correct?
Yeah.
So would you say it was a lot of your warm market, or was it like random people as well?
Okay, so honestly, I come from like a small town where everyone's very judgmental. So honest to God, I have no girls that are my friends in my challengers. I reached out to some of my best friends. I have a very big group of best friends, and none of them are in my group. So I've like had no support from them neither, in like any sense whatsoever, whether it be encouraging words, whether it be joining, whether it be anything. So I think that was like a huge eye opener too. Um, a lot of the girls that are my challengers are people that I know, because I don't really reach out to girls that I have no idea who they are yet, just because I know myself, when I was getting invites to stuff that I wasn't really aware of, I kind of just ghosted girls like that. So no, they're not from my warm market necessarily. I have some girls, like my mother-in-law is my one coach, so obviously I know her. I have like a cousin, I have like two of my friends, but other than that, it's just girls that I follow on Instagram, which is cool, I find.
I love that. That's so interesting. Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Does anyone else have a question before I just keep blobbing them out?
I was just wondering, because like you're saying, I didn't even know that it wasn't your warm market. How do you find like the best way has been for you to reach out to girls and like attract that market that's not so comfortable to you?
I think just like being active on my stories, like I do send invites, like don't get me wrong. I have girls that I've sent invites to, and that's why I find it so important to send invites. Like I've had girls answer and tell me, oh my God, it's been a week, I've been wanting to reach out to you, I just didn't know how. So I think that's super important, why we need to send out invites, is because some girls are just not sure how to reach out to you about this situation. But like polls are they're amazing, because those girls are the girls that don't necessarily want to DM you to be like, hey, I'm interested. So that's how I got a lot of my girls at the beginning, was if they're answering my polls, I'll DM them right away. But just like being active on your social media, it's something that not everyone follows as fitness accounts. So when they see something different and people stepping out of their comfort zone and doing their workouts, they want to know more about it. So I find just like always being active on my stories, that's when people want to know more and want to be interested.
Love that. That makes sense. I have another question, but if anyone else has a question before I ask.
I have a question. So you talked about how polls on your stories are really helpful. What kind of polls, like, can you give like some examples of what kind of polls that you would use?
Yeah, so every time that I have like a new girl enroll, I always make sure to put that on um like on my stories, and I always put a poll like who's ready to begin their journey, who's ready to take that first step. And I always just put more info or yes, I'm in. I don't put something like no, I'm not interested, because that's discouraging if you have a bunch of people that answer with they don't want to join. So I always just kind of like put polls like that, and a lot of people answer, and they usually, those are the girls that have joined so far. So I just put like want more info or yes, I'm totally in. That's all I've done so far for polls.
I have a question in regards to like invites and like your business activity tracker. Like, how often do you say you do your business activity tracker, and how many invites do you say that you send a day?
So I work full time right now at a daycare center, and I'm also doing a class online this summer. So I'm super, super busy. So like I usually sit down sometimes like after supper, and like we'll have sometimes like the other night we sat down, some of the girls, and we just like power hour for an hour kind of thing. Um, I don't send out 30 invites a day, because first of all, if you didn't know, I lost my Instagram account a few weeks ago. So I lost so many my followers. I had to restart from scratch. So like I'm still slowly trying to like build that up. So I would say I'd like send out like maybe six invites throughout my day, which is not like, it's not 30, it's not 40, but it's just six invites. And if I get ghosted, sometimes I'll just like send another one, just like because I like when people answer. Um, but yeah, six invites, and I do that throughout my day. Like at daycare, when the kids are sleeping, sometimes I'll send out a few invites after supper in the morning. Like I do sit down sometimes for like long periods of time, but I usually do work like 15 minutes here, 15 minutes there, just throughout the day, just because I am so busy.
So do you find you spend more time on connecting than inviting?
I would say I spend more time on inviting than connecting.
Okay. Cool.
And something that's also super cool is like yesterday I got two girls joining at the same time and they're best friends. So I invited one girl and she told her friend that she was joining and then her friend wanted to join. So like I think that's also, you can tell, oh, if you know anyone that's super interested in home workouts, like you can send them my way and I would love to answer their questions. Like that's another thing that I've done before. And then people talk and then people message you from other people talking.
So there's another question here. How did you gain your followers back, or how do you find new people to follow?
So when my Instagram decided that it wasn't going to work anymore, just a heads up, guys, do not download third-party apps on your phone. Who cares if people unfollow you? Because that's what I downloaded it for. I was like, I want to see who's unfollowing me. Maybe they think I'm annoying. And I downloaded an app and my account got locked. So don't do that. If they unfollow you, who cares? Okay, well, what was the question? Sorry. How do I get my followers back? So my account still exists. My personal account still exists. So what I did was I went on my account and I just like followed everyone back kind of thing. Or what I do is I go into my friends' followers and I follow them. So then that's how I don't have 10,000 followers, or I don't have, but I do like following at least like 30, 40 people a day, just to try and slowly get that back. Because I also don't want to follow like 600 people in one day. I feel like my account will get locked for that maybe. So I'm kind of taking it day by day, just trying to build back like my Instagram account to be able to get more followers.
This is a great question. So it says, you mentioned that lots of your coaches and clients reached out to you themselves. In terms of following your niche, how are you attracting people that you think could be a future prospect?
Okay, I gotta read that again. Give me a second. If you guys know me, I'm super, super French. So like some words, I gotta reread it. Yeah, okay. So I'm like I said, like I'm a very open person. Like I'm not shy, but I am super self-conscious. So like I think that when people saw that I was stepping out of my comfort zone and I was like posting like all these sweaty, nasty workout videos of myself, they were like, oh my God, this girl can do it. I want to do that too. Not necessarily want to coach, but these girls wanted to also be a part of what I was a part of. Give me a second. Attracting people. How am I attracting people? I'm just like being myself, I think, on my stories, like not trying to make everything perfect. Yes, I try and make things cute. That's just kind of how I am. But when I don't make up myself before I go do a workout, and I kind of just do my workouts, film them and post them. And I think that's what people like to see, is not necessarily everything being super, super perfect. But like I think the biggest thing being coach, you need to be active on social media. Like you have no choice, because if you want people to join on what you're doing, they need to see what you're doing on social media. So if you're not posting your workouts on your stories, people aren't going to want to join because they have no idea what you're doing. So I think it's super important to post your workouts on your stories. Super important. You love my accent. Thank you so much.
Anyone else?
Nobody can ask anything. It's tradition. Jamie, what's your favorite snack? Can you share it with the class?
With the class. I think I can sit down and eat a whole box of Cheez-Its one sitting, maybe in an hour even, just eat that whole box of Cheez-Its. But
I love it. I do have another question.
yeah.
So when you first signed up as a coach, you struggled with signing up discount coaches, and I know a lot of people still struggle with that, like they're like afraid to do that, which is normal. Like I feel like that starts off like as a lot of new coaches. Can you share like how you got through that and then how you now sign up most of your people as discount coaches?
Yeah, so at the beginning, I was signing up. I think I signed up 8 girls before I actually got like a discount coach. I was just scared to ask people because I was scared that as soon as I would mention it, they would be like, okay, never mind, I'm not going to sign up anymore. Because, like, I'm 21, I'm young, money is still like, I save my money for school. So when I tell people $17 a month on top of the 162 kind of thing, I just like automatically told myself they're going to say no. But then when I was seeing like everyone hitting emerald, I was like, okay, no, you gotta snap out of it. Like you can't just. And what I was doing that I think was the biggest issue is I was giving them the option. I was telling them, oh, well, you can either sign up as a customer or you can sign up as a discount coach. And they obviously went towards just the customer. And then I remember Shauna was like, can you like send me how you're inviting people just so I can see like you're not doing anything wrong. I just want to see like how you're inviting. So then I just didn't give them the option. I kind of just said, okay, I signed you up. And I remember Amber put it in one of the things, like what she would tell her people. And that's exactly what I send. I just say, I signed you up as a discount coach. This is what it means. And then I explain, like, if by chance you don't want that discount anymore, like there's nothing that's stopping you to cancel it eventually. So that's why I don't give them the option. And I need to make sure to be super open about that, like Amber said, because I don't want people to be like, oh, she didn't tell me where there was a $17 fee, like she's trying to, you know what I mean? So I make sure that like everything is super, super, super clear. And if people tell me, like I've had 3 people already be like, I'm not putting my SIN. And then as soon as I sent a voice note and saying, hey, I felt the exact same way about giving my SIN, but the only reason you need it is because you have the opportunity like to gain an income if you were an active coach, they put it in. Like I haven't had someone back down from that. It just because obviously giving your SIN isn't something people want to do, but when you explain to them why they have to give it, they understand, and then they'll put it. So if they don't want to sign up as a discount coach, like absolutely not. Like you can't force someone, and you don't want to lose a client, like a customer neither. But I just like don't necessarily give them the choice. So I think that's important, and that's what made me hit Emerald times 4.
Yeah. So Catherine said, do you have a copy and pasted note that you send?
Yeah, I can. I don't. Yes, I can put it somehow in this chat, or Amber has it. I don't know if I have it. It's literally what Amber put once, and I don't remember what call it was, but she put, "This is what I send," and yeah, that's exactly what I send. I think I added that the 17 monthly fee is only charged 30 days from now, and it works every time. How do you make connections and do invites like you said? So like with connections, I kind of like just respond to a lot of people's stories. Like if they post a picture of their cat, I'm always like, oh, I love cats too. Your cat's so cute. Like simple as that. And then people are like, oh, thanks. And then that's a connection. But I don't like say, oh, I love your cat. You want to join Beachbody? Like I'll kind of like wait a bit, like comment on their stories, like respond if they're posting like quotes and stuff. I'll be like, oh, I can totally relate, like love this kind of thing. And then maybe a few days later, I'll just say, hey, like I don't know if you've seen my stories, but kind of invite them and ask them if they want information on like what I'm doing. But like I haven't like DM'd a random person be like, hey, want to chat? Like I haven't really done that yet. I will eventually. Like I said, I'm still a new coach. I'm still learning from everyone. I'm not a professional yet. But like invites are important. Like that's the scariest part I think about coaching, because like I get ghosted all the time. I get no thank yous all the time, and like that's okay. But like I said, I've reached out to 3 girls that told me they've wanted to join, but they just didn't know how to message me. So that's why it's super important on inviting, because that's how you're going to get your people.
I have a question.
Yes.
So it's a little bit different, but I noticed that you have a Beachbody coach in your bio. And a lot of us do like curiosity marketing, and I'm not sure if you still have it in your bio, but I was kind of just wondering, like, does that kind of like attract people because then they just like know what it is that you're like providing?
Like in my bio, it says coach.
A Beachbody coach. Maybe I'm looking at the wrong account, but
Yeah, I think that was my old account maybe. But a lot of people don't know what Beachbody is. Surprisingly, I've invited a lot of people and they have no idea what Beachbody is. So um, sometimes that's more challenging because they like have absolutely no idea what that is. But um, I don't really know. Like,
Yeah, like I know. And so when we first started coaching, Jamie, like a lot of what we were told to do, like was curiosity marketing. So like not saying Beachbody or like not saying what the name of the products are. But I've been finding that I feel like it's changing personally. And like when you talk about the company and you talk about, you know, the products and say the names of the products, you're showing that you're confident, right? So Andrea, to answer your question, I think that it's not a bad thing to say that you're a Beachbody coach. Like I'll talk about it in my stories. I personally think that it's changing because I see like Mackenzie and like Jamie and like all of the new coaches, like they're talking about the products and sharing it right on their social media. And like, why not, right? Like people are going to ask you anyway. So I feel like, Andrea, that it's not a bad thing to like share that you're a Beachbody coach because you're showing that you're confident about it.
okay.
I think it's changing personally, but I could be wrong.
like
I've
what
had a girl from that I went to high school with even reach out to me about just specifically the products,
yeah.
and just like ask about them. And I even told her, I was like, because the way that I thought about it was like, if they're interested in the products, they might eventually be interested in joining the entire thing. So what I did was I was like, if you want to buy something, I will purchase it and get you like a discount on it because you get PV for that anyway. So I'll send it to you, whatever. And then because eventually that could lead to like a sign up. If they love the products, they're like, oh, I might actually love the programs and I'll just do it all at the same time. So even if you lead with the products, I find that could lead to something else.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyone else? Oh, that's true, Amber. Okay, wait.
There's a question, I don't know if I answered it. It says, what do you respond to when people say no, when they say no thank you? When people just say no thank you, I say, oh, that's totally okay. If ever you're interested in joining, please reach out. Like, don't be shy and please reach out. When people tell me they already have like a lot of people go to the gym and that's okay. When people tell me they already have like a routine set out, I say, oh, hope that's working for you. That's super awesome. Like you can't just leave them on red when they say no thank you, because like that's just kind of like, it kind of looks like you're just trying to get people to join and you don't really care necessarily. So like, or when people tell me they don't have time, that's my favorite one, because yes, you do have time, and you don't want to just tell someone like, haha, yeah, you do have time, because that's, you know, I just say, oh, that's okay. I totally understand. I'm a super busy person too. But like, and then those people that tell me they don't have time are the people that I'm going to follow up with, like, I would say in a few days even. But the only touchy no thank you is with money, I find, just because like some people do live paycheck by paycheck. So some people actually don't have the money to be able to start. So like I find that's a touchy one. But when people tell me no thank you, just don't leave them on red after that, because if they ever consider joining afterwards or they are interested, they might not want to reach out to you just because you did leave them on red when they said no.
Awesome. Well, thanks guys for coming this morning. And Jamie, thank you for answering all of our questions. That was so helpful. And yeah, hope you guys have a good weekend. Bye
Thanks.
guys. Bye Jamie.
Bye.